this is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Dove Radio? Call the police. Call my agent.
Tony, welcome to go.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
I gotta pat you down though, pal.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Got anything on you? Anything I should know?
I got nothing.
Anything weird going on?
What?
Alright, you go in, Tony. Good.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Tom Kelly of The Tom Kelly Show. Yes, this is not the only time I've gotten on my knees in the back room of a comedy club.
The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show is also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. Give Two Eagles Auto Body a call and please ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527. That's 516-328-2527.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony on the Knock 'em Dead radio show. They're gonna keep knocking 'em dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio.
I just want to say thanks for making my millennium. Oh my gosh. Well, it's a love fest.
Yeah, you heard that story.
Yeah.
So I guess should I tell it again?
Oh, yeah, if you want. I mean, yeah.
You know, you guys are into comedy. Does it really help when somebody gives the punchline?
my sticks. The mic is live and clear for you and all to hear. Knock 'em dead. Knock 'em dead. Comedy show.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Don't mind me. I'm still working on some camera angles and stuff, making sure this looks right. Hope everybody's well. Welcome to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. We're coming at you live on Gov's Comedy Club podcast, a Facebook page, a YouTube channel. Wherever you're watching from, we ask that you share the link on all your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows here at Gov's Comedy Club podcast, because we have a lot of them. We have a lot of great shows here. And of course, we're coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. And speaking of legends, boy, have we got one with you today. Meghan Hanley is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! Gosh, thank you.
Welcome.
Thrilled to be back.
Yeah, and you know, I've said it before. I've said it a million times. You're absolutely one of my favorites, and I'm thrilled that you're here.
You did say that.
Yes,
Well, you got it.
I've
It's a lot
always
of
said
pressure.
that. A lot of pressure. You better live up to it.
Don't forget to pay me later for backing you up on
That's right. Thank you. Yes. And Jeff is back. We'll get to, we'll talk to Jeff about all of his stuff in a few minutes.
It's been like a month.
Has it been that long?
It's been like 3 weeks worth of shows.
That's
I think.
crazy.
Yeah, 3 weeks worth of shows.
All right. Yes. Scott is complaining that he already has swamp butt. It is hot out there. It is very hot out there.
It's like Africa hot.
John Rusiello, good morning. Great to see you back, Jeff, he said.
Thank you,
Very
John.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I told you my fan missed me.
Your fan. That's right. The one. The one. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed our show yesterday. We had actor Bill Smitrovich joining us on Zoom. Do you know who that is?
No.
Did you watch, let's see, so you're a child of the 80s. Did you watch Corky? Life Goes On?
Yeah.
The father.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's been in everything.
Wow.
He's been, I think it's easier to list the things he's not been in
Probably,
as opposed to what he has been in.
Yeah.
Independence Day, he was in that movie. He was on Miami Vice. He was part of Corky and, a million different movies. And he joined us yesterday, and you'll appreciate this. He's a huge Met fan.
Okay.
As a sports person. I know you're not a Met fan,
Yeah,
but you're a
yeah.
sports person. But yeah, and we bonded over Mets because I'm a Mets fanatic. And I was telling Jeff, we recorded the show last Monday afternoon. I just posted it yesterday. So it's been a week. This guy has become my best friend. He will not stop texting me.
Love it.
About
Maybe he's watching right now.
I doubt it. He's
No,
in LA,
it's only 8
so
o'clock in
he's
LA.
fast asleep. But he's I think he's in his late 70s, early 80s. So he's old people don't sleep. So maybe he's up.
He might be up.
He might be up
Yeah.
watching.
Could be up.
So, but I'm not complaining. I just find
Yeah,
it fascinating that this guy is texting me like
I
crazy.
enjoyed watching it.
Oh well, thanks.
I did.
Thanks. Very nice. Well, let me point out before I feel bad. We haven't given Meghan a chance to even speak yet. But
I'm fine. Listen, I told you I'm coasting in. I just got off a cruise ship yesterday.
Oh, you just came off yesterday?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Oh,
I feel
wow.
like I'm still
I was going to ask you about the cruises, so I didn't really.
reacclimating.
Wow.
to land
Still
life.
feeling a little.
Oh yeah.
Well, this
out of it.
Saturday, right? Saturday's the show.
Saturday.
In the Giggle Room,
Giggle
you can
Room.
see Meghan Hanley, and I highly recommend it because, again, she is fantastic. Long Island, June 28th, 7:30, in the Giggle Room. Meghan Hanley, go to govs.com and make your reservations. You will not be disappointed, I promise. She is fantastic. It's a nice hometown gig. Sorry.
Yeah.
A nice hometown gig. You're, you'll be performing right here because you're what, Seaford? Is that where you're
Yep,
from?
Seaford. Yep.
Very nice.
Grew up in Seaford.
My father graduated high school from Seaford.
Okay. Fellow Viking.
Fellow Viking, right.
Viking.
And I lived in Seaford too, but I did not graduate there. I lived there for like 20 years, but my kids went to Wantagh schools.
Okay.
So
Big
sorry.
rivalry.
That's
you
right.
know.
Oh yeah.
It's like it is and it isn't because like we weren't even in the same sports divisions because you guys are bigger and better. Programs.
So we're not going to rumble today?
I don't think so.
No,
But,
okay.
You know.
Kind of like the Hicksville Syosset thing.
Yeah, right. Which I don't. I think that was fabricated. We're Hicksville
That was,
guys.
I was gonna say probably.
Like we would
probably
just
not
walk
like
around
that
all day.
now.
Fuck Syosset.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we didn't even know anybody.
But yes, that's not that close. Hicksville Syosset?
Syosset, there is
it borders on the.
There is a small section of Hicksville that borders Syosset.
Oh, okay. I did not realize.
Borders.
Okay.
But they're richer and better. So I don't even know how that even happened.
I don't know.
I think that's how it happened right there. They're richer and better, and you're
yeah,
like,
there
no
you go.
way,
We're jealous.
We're real people.
Yep. All right. So I just showed the flyer to your show. Again, there's a delay there, so I don't know if it popped up or not. But I'm going to show it again, and I'm going to actually show it a little. Zoom in a little bit. So explain this flyer to me. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
I guess we're gonna have to see
the flyer for this Saturday. Did you make the flyer for the Saturday show?
I did.
It's a picture of you, like it looks like you're working as an usher or something at Jones Beach.
Oh, that was my Instagram post.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the actual flyer.
No, the photo on the website is actually just like the one I used last time, and I just went in and changed all the dates. You get
good idea.
You go in, they're like, okay, right away, they're like, send us when I booked this, because the Giggle Room books up really quick, which is great.
It does.
I mean, it's a really popular venue, but I booked this so many months out, and then it was one of those of like, okay, let's just secure this date, and then right away they're like, send a flyer. I'm like, I don't even have this show booked yet, so I just went into my old files and was like, wait, here's the picture that I had for the last time, and I just updated everything, and then I kept meaning to send a new one, and I was like, why? Who cares? Like, it's got the info, it's got my picture,
it's all you
done.
Need. But yeah, that flyer there.
That is from my Instagram, because I thought that would sort of grab people's attention. Yes, that's I used to work at Jones Beach back in the day, and there we are. And I believe that is actually, it was confirmed by a friend of mine that is Beck in the background.
Oh, I was going to ask that.
Which does make sense. I was very obsessed. I mean, I still like Beck, but I was like really into Beck in high school, and we actually like knowing if that's like him performing them. So we used to work concessions, and I don't know if they still do this, but I work in concessions at Jones Beach. So at high school, it was like, there was no alcohol at the time.
Right.
So people
now it's all
would
over.
get really angry about that. And now I understand, because now I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, why would you not? So, we had all the different crowds, everybody that would come in. But again, I don't know if this is how it still works now, but we would close when the concert started.
Yes,
so
I remember that.
Before the concert.
Yeah.
And then once the concert started, we would break down, close, and then for us as staff, we had separate staff parking, which is great to get in and out of there.
Yeah.
But also, if you wanted to, you could go to the standing room only section and watch the concert.
Oh, nice.
So I had seen, it was like a Thursday, I remember, and that Sunday we had went to the old Giant Stadium, and we saw, it was Dave Matthews.
Okay.
And Beck opened for Dave Matthews, and
wow.
Ben Folds 5 opened for, it was like 3 people, one concert, and it was awesome. They were like all of my favorite, artists, and this is like 1998 or 99.
Okay.
Go see it, fantastic concert, and then I was like, wait a minute, but Ben Folds and Beck are like out at Jones Beach on Thursday, and because I remember Beck blew the roof off, and I was like, Beck was so good. So then we got to see him headline, and then they also used to do this. I don't know if they still do it, but used to be able to tune to a certain station, a certain Long Island radio station, used to play the Jones Beach concerts live.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I don't remember what station it was, so it was one of those things where, again, I guess I sort of knew his set list or knew when the encore was coming on. So, again, we still have our special parking, but it's going to be, crazy. So I remember watching him standing room only, and it was when it was 2 turntables and a microphone. He came back out. He was wearing this, white suit thing. It was great. And then we're like, all right, we got to get out of here. This is wrapping up. But I remember driving down the Wantaw Parkway, blasting the rest of the concert and being like, I was just there.
Yeah,
I was
right.
blasting, just driving down, listening to Beck.
They're thinking that people you're passing are going to be like, oh, she's lucky. She just saw Beck.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I found that photo at my parents' at some point when I was going through other things, and I saved it, and I was like, the next time I play Long Island, I'm going to put this up. Just because I think it would start, anything that will start a conversation, sort of, you put up a flyer for a show, sometimes it gets buried by the algorithm, but I was like, well, this will at least catch people's attention because it's something a little different, and then people go, oh, you worked there, or well, who is that, or so hopefully it would help. I don't know if it did, but
well, he posted a picture of himself from the sage with this cute little girl in the background.
Who is?
Is that Meghan Hanley back there?
Meghan Hanley?
That's cool. And they used to I remember sometime in the 90s, I had the pleasure of being backstage several times, but I just remember the first time going back there and be like, it's a whole. Because the stage is right there on the water, so you wouldn't think it's so big back there, but it's Huge back there.
Nice.
You don't, you weren't?
I don't never got, no.
Oh,
never
really?
got back there. You know, we were concessions.
I just figured at some point. Wow.
Concession.
Come on, please. We weren't even VIP. Over time, my cousin got into like working the VIP tents. Like, yeah, we were all working down there. It was
nice.
It was wild. Yeah.
I thought for sure you were going to tell me you had access to backstage and you met people. Really, nothing. Huh?
I have a funny Jones Beach Theater story.
Okay.
Yeah.
This young kid in my fire company. This is current. And when I say young kid, he's probably, I guess he's maybe 21 now. Anyway, so it's all Live Nation there now.
Oh, right.
And he works for Live Nation for beach shows.
Okay.
Well, he's, there early before a show, and this gentleman comes up to him in the floor area. He's like, oh, yeah, I got to get back over there. He's like, no, sir, I can't let you go back there. You can't. He goes, no, but I need to get back there. And somebody of more authority saw him talking with this gentleman trying to say, I can't let you go. And they comes over, okay, dude, he can go back there. He can go back there. It was Bob Dylan.
Oh, jeez.
And it was his show.
Oh,
and the kids
and it was his show?
The kids tell him, I can't let you back there, sir.
You know what, though?
He had no clue. 20 years old, 21 years old.
I feel like Bob Dylan would love that.
Yeah,
because
sure.
he loves
Yeah.
that, like, I'm just like a regular guy blending in.
Yeah.
Was that your Bob Dylan impression?
Bob Dylan right there. Listen.
I went to that show. It was terrible.
Really?
It was terrible.
That's always the thing, right? It's either good or bad.
He did nothing. I mean, one song I recognized, and everything else was all his new bluesy. Shit.
So I like it. I like that stuff.
Oh, it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible.
Wow.
In fact, you didn't even know it was him that came on stage.
No kidding.
He just came out and started playing. And my buddy and I are like, oh, who's this?
You're right. Who's the opening act?
Who's this guy? And all of a sudden I'm like, that sounds like Dylan. I'm like, it sounds like, but I don't recognize the song at all.
Yeah. He's known for that. Yeah, he doesn't play.
He feels like playing.
Exactly,
You know,
yeah.
it's like,
Well, in 2003 or 4, I think it was, my brother worked for a company that got backstage passes for Fleetwood Mac.
Wow.
So we're like, oh, this is cool. But my brother, he doesn't get all the information. And it turns out we missed the meet and greet. I was like, well, I'd love to have met Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
But, so I was a little pissed off, but we go backstage anyway. And I'm telling you, I walked back there and I had a collared shirt on, but it had a Mets emblem. We go back there. And I'm going straight for the buffet food. And the first person I set eyes on is Gary Carter. And he sees this. He comes over to me. Hey, I like that. He just got inducted into the Hall of Fame like that same summer. Wow. We end up sitting down having dinner together. And then I had better seats than him.
Listen, the Mets are really bringing people together. I think that's the theme
The Mets
of this
are about
podcast.
to make
You
us
know
all
what?
jump
This
off a
is
bridge right now.
Yeah, we're bringing us together because we're all going to just jump off a bridge together. But same with your Yankees. What in the world is going on here?
I was fortunately, out at sea. So
you weren't keeping
You're
tabs?
like checking in here and there, and I would go like, this seems like another loss, but I'm not seeing it as much. Like the games aren't on,
right?
So you're seeing it but not seeing it, and then I was just like, this feels like things are suddenly going quite south. And then I was a lot of people on the ship were from Pennsylvania and Philly, so then it was like the Philly with that series, and it was just like,
which reminds me,
it's all good for baseball.
Your sports Tabata, which I absolutely love.
Thank you.
The what's his name? Nick Castellanos. Thank you.
Yeah.
Your line with what do you expect? I'm a Philly.
Phillies fan.
Phillies fans are the worst.
Yeah.
They are the
They're
worst.
wild.
Sore winners. I mean, here in New York, it's like a running joke. The Met fans always say, "Oh, Yankee fans are sore winners," but no, they got nothing on Phillies fans.
Philly
fans are the worst. And we got a call coming in.
John there. I have to depart for a few minutes.
Oh, you do?
To
You have to
my
go.
Daughter,
Okay.
I'll be back.
All
I will
right,
be
great.
rejoining the show.
All right, cool.
Do you need me to?
Nope, you're
okay.
good.
Oh, did I just?
Does that mean I'm taking the headsets?
Yes, that is what it means.
Calling in.
Good morning, sir.
Whoa.
Good morning. Sorry to interrupt.
It's all right.
But I just want to welcome back my friend Jeff.
Well, he just left.
He just left. Where'd he go?
He has to, his daughter needs a ride somewhere, so he had to go tend to his daughter.
I see you now on a delay. Oh, okay. I was gonna ask him if he saw the show, the Green Room show on Saturday.
Oh, I don't know if he did or not. He didn't say.
Yeah, because it's just my observation, and I wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw the same thing. there was a guest on your show Saturday.
Okay.
That I think was very attractive to you.
Very attracted to me?
To you, yes.
Nobody's
Yes.
attracted to me.
Well, I don't know about that. This particular guest was giving you the Google eye.
Yeah,
and,
I know where you're going with this. By the way, are you familiar with Oscar Aiden? Do you know who that is?
Yes,
He was a guest in here Saturday night. We
Okay.
we were in here Saturday night, and so I think that's where this gentleman is going. He's trying to tell me that a gay man was
no. I'm sorry. No, you're wrong.
Oh,
You're wrong.
all right.
Oscar was attracted to Mike, which I love, and that'll be a discussion for on Wednesday.
Mike who?
Mike Kaplan. He wants to kill him.
Oh, that was a different comedian, but yes, that guy wants to
okay.
come. There's a lot going on.
There's
here.
a lot going on here.
Yeah. So who are we talking
I was
about?
referring to the guest that had the red dress on.
Oh, you're talking about Emily Santosis.
Yes, I thought she was attracted to you. She looked like she was giving you the Google eyes.
Yeah, is that what you think?
Goodbye. I love you.
Emily
Goodbye.
Santosis is a trans comedian.
Okay.
Going from a man to a woman. So
Okay.
I think he's just making fun of me. That
okay.
they had it.
Could also, there could be something there.
Hey, you never know.
Who knows?
It was a pride. There was a pride show in the Giggle Room Saturday. So Oscar Aiden was here.
Oscar's really funny. He's at your comedy club a lot. Really
hilarious.
funny.
And
Yeah.
he came in here and just tore it up too.
Yeah.
We were laughing our asses off. Oscar Aiden, Charlie somebody. Forgive me, Charlie, I forget your last name. Annie LaPuma was the one who put the show together.
Okay.
And Emily Santosis, who's a great comedian, and trans as well.
Yeah.
But sometimes we come in here on the weekends and we get the comedians as they come off the stage.
That's cool.
How was the audience? How'd it go? And we just talk about various things. We had one guy. We've had Roy Wood in here. We've had Shane Gillis in here. We had one guy, Nathan McIntosh.
Yeah, Nathan's so
Oh,
good.
you know who I'm talking about?
So funny.
Great guy.
Yeah.
But he bombed. He
No.
played the main stage and totally bombed.
I can't even imagine that because he's so good.
Oh, he's great. But it was that's what made it interesting because, we'll get, no matter what stage you're playing, come on in, let's talk. How did it go? Do you have to change your set for whatever reason? How do you tailor this? Or what do you do in this situation? Just talking comedy, having some laughs. Nathan walked off the stage, walked through the green room, which you know where it is. It's just feet away from the studio. He came right in, sat here, and just bitched. Levittown sucks. These people, they don't know what comedy is. And we just sat back. He went off for about 10 minutes on how this crowd sucked. Laughed our asses off. Yeah. So we do that sometimes.
Yeah.
We come in here and. Whether we know the comedians or not, Kevin Farley was here Saturday in the main room. So he stepped in for a few minutes. So it was a lot of fun. So
That's fun.
I think now you're finally caught up on everything in here. So now we can focus on making
action,
Hanley.
though, because you're doing this every day.
Yeah.
And then you're doing that's 6 days a week. That's a lot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's more sick of my voice than myself. This is way too much of me.
I understand as a comedian. It's so much time by ourselves, and it's so much time in our heads, and then it's so much time hearing our own voice and having to listen back to sets to try to hear something you did.
Right.
And you're like, oh, here I am again. It's just it's nonstop you.
It's interesting that you say that, spending a lot of times by ourselves, because that's one of the questions that I had in here somewhere. You're trapped. I mean, lately especially, seems like you've been traveling the world.
The past 3 months really have been, this is sort of like the end. I was actually having this thought like last night. So I came out and I was at my parents and I'm having some wine and they had went to bed and I'm sitting there and I was like, you did it.
Yeah.
I was like a little drunk and I'm like, you're home. You did this stretch. Like, you're good. You're safe. You made it.
It's one of those things where after the fact, you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. And then it's like this thing of, you get back home and you're like, even today, I'm like, okay, I got to promote for the show. I have a show in the city tonight.
Oh, wow.
It's still this nonstop. Tomorrow I think I'll really have more of a day. It's a day off, but in a sense, we're almost never off because you're off, but you're like, now here's all the stuff.
All the
I
hustle.
have to kind of catch up on, or here's the emails I have to send, and trying to like carve out that time to be like, I told myself tomorrow in the evening or like 4 o'clock, I'm like, try to get to the beach. Like, I don't like beach during the day. I look at my skin, I can't. I burn. But I love like a 4 o'clock. So I'm like, if I can just like work out, send emails, get some work done, and then be like, then go sit on the beach with a book and you don't have to be back by a certain time to get on a ship. You don't
Right,
have to get
right.
back to security. You don't have to get, like have that time. But yeah, it's a never ending.
It is. It's a constant hustle.
Yeah.
But
we love it.
Well, yeah. I
It's
mean,
really
the payoff, the work that you're getting paid for is the hustle, the promotions, the emails. The part of the payoff is going up on stage and just having some laughs.
Yeah, the stage is, for the most part, that's, why we do this and we love it. That can be the easier part. Of course, there's challenges and all those things with getting on stage and, again, working on our act and all that. But so much of it is the other work. It's the travel. It's the booking. It's the sending emails. It's the promotion. It's all that stuff. That's the kind of unpaid part.
Yeah, right.
That is a lot more of the work than the comedy's fun. Once you're on stage, that's great.
Like you said, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
I'm just going up there. I'm going to laugh with all of you guys. I'm going to laugh.
Yeah,
and then during the week is when we're working.
Yeah.
So you said by yourself though. That was actually one of my questions.
Yeah.
You're traveling all over the place. Like, are you actually going by yourself, or do you meet up with the comedians and travel together, or you're actually going by yourself to all this?
For the most part, yeah. I feel like stand-up comedy, I don't think people realize how much we're alone.
Yeah.
Like, we're alone and you're with yourself. It's your responsibility to get yourself everywhere, and it's especially so with the ships, it's like you join the ship. I have mostly just worked for Norwegian. So what's great about that is I kind of know now which there's like ships that are sister ships with each other. So I know like the layout of the ship, which I think is very important when you're going someplace new. You kind of like know the system that you're going into, because so much of what we do, which can be really exhausting, is that you're just constantly adjusting.
Right.
And it takes a while to adjust. And then sometimes by the time you adjust, you're on to your next gig. And I don't even think we think about that enough or give ourselves enough credit for that. And sometimes we just go through these phases where you're like, you're so tired, or you feel so lonely, or you feel run down. And you're like, but why? Like, again, and I think it's the way people even talk to us. So you had that show tonight. So what, you only have to work 45 minutes a day?
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
No, actually.
Right. Yeah, I just woke up there and all the jokes just come to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides
I'm not spending all this
work,
time writing.
that went into this show, it's also
Right.
like, oh, I had to travel here today. I had
Right.
to unpack. I had to set up a room. I had to get comfortable with my surroundings. I had to
Right.
go, can I sleep in this room? Like,
Right.
Is there
all
too
the
much
details
light? All
with
the detail.
what stipulations they may have or what you may have. There's a lot that goes into this that people don't think about.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times you don't even get to really enjoy the ship or where the ship is going, right?
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like, so this, it really depends on the cruise and everything. These last 2 weeks, I was on Norwegian Getaway, which is one of the it's like the Getaway and Escape and Breakaway. They're like all sister ships, and I feel like they were like the original when they came up with these bigger ships.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they're probably less than 10 years old. I don't know the exact age, but then they've built a lot of ships since.
Right.
But these 3 ships look alike. They have the Comedy Club, and we share the space with Howl at the Moon dueling piano. The Comedy Club is great. We also have like theater shows. But I know the layout of these ships, and I know my routine on these ships so well that it made like getting ready to go do the cruise, you're just kind of relaxed about it. I'm in and out of New York. I didn't have to get on a plane. I know I'm taking a cab to the ship. There's still, once you get there, you don't know, again, who your boss is going to be, who you're checking in with. You don't know your schedule. It's always different cruise to cruise. And that like affects how you can break up your material, stuff like that. And comedians, there's usually 2 of us on. You don't know who you're working with. And that's a huge factor, because that's probably going to be your main contact. And that. But right before I was getting on 2 weeks ago, Mike Burton, I don't know if you know Mike Burton.
I know who he is, yeah.
Mike Burton was on the ship with Rodney Laney. Rodney was signing off, and he was staying on. So he was able to send me. He's like, here's what your schedule is going to be. You'll be working with me. So that also just makes it, somebody I know I'm going to be out there with. So we did a week together, and then the next week it was a different comic who I didn't know. So then you just kind of go, how's this going to go? And it always works out in its own way.
Right.
But we did the Bermuda run, and I love the Bermuda run because you just go to Bermuda and you dock in Bermuda for 2.5 days.
Oh, wow.
So I love it. And this was the first time I've had that contract where I actually had a full day and night off in Bermuda.
Oh, nice.
So it really was like this, okay, Sunday we're getting on. We had shows right away. Monday's a day off, which is nice because you already did a show. You have a day to like just chill.
Mm-hmm.
You know that the work sometimes is just getting through each day out there, which takes this pressure off of you can actually just relax.
Yeah, right.
And you're like, wait, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
Where when you're home, you're not.
Right.
Like if you relax for a day, you are not getting paid.
And you're
Where out
relaxing
there,
in Bermuda. No
I'm
less.
relaxing on the way. The weather's nice.
Right.
I have a spot outside. I sit. That's like outside one of the restaurants. I bring my computer. That's where I get my coffee. I do my work out there. I sit out
Yep.
there for a few hours looking out at the
Nice.
sea.
Oh, that's nice.
Get work done. Go to the gym. You don't have to cook. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I go to the buffet. I have my grilled chicken, my salad. Like I have like my routine. And
Yeah.
next thing you know, it's the afternoon. You can relax, go see a
Yep.
show that night, and then, you know. kinda
Is that
go
the lingo, by the way, the Bermuda Run?
I don't know. I guess the run. I say that. It's the Bermuda run. It's the Bermuda run. I don't know if that's the lingo, but that's what I thought.
It sounded good.
It's the Bermuda run. Yeah. And then I knew, like, once we got to Bermuda, like, I had chose the Tuesday, and then Bermuda, like, both weeks, I was like, I was on ferries, buses, and you're just like able to go like out at night, you know, and be like on a ferry in the evening and like coming back, and like, you know, passengers at that point they start recognizing you.
Right.
Sometimes they would hear my voice and they'd be like, "You're the comedian."
Yeah.
But then you just start talking to people and you meet people and see where
Yep.
they're coming in from.
I have a friend, one of my closest friends. He's a musician in England, but he's done lots of cruises. I'll throw the name out because you never know. It turns out he knew him and John Joseph became friends because they worked on a lot of cruises together. Elio Pace is his name.
Okay.
Yeah. So same thing. He used to tell me because he's been doing this for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said after a while it becomes routine, so you know what, and it allows you more relaxation time because you have. But also, you know, during the downtime, he got to know the crew members and got to know people like John Joseph. So then, you know, for downtime, he could hang out with some of them instead of, you know, by myself. I'm in Bermuda, but what am I going to do with myself? But they became friendly, and so they would have people to hang out with, people to talk to. So and then he did something in the city about 10 years ago or so. And I went to go see him, and there were some people there that had seen him on cruises that, he's doing something in the city. Let's go. So it's kind of a cool thing how that all kind of works out.
Yeah.
And I know, too, from talking to him and John Joseph, and I'm not, of course, not going to ask for details, but I know the money is very good.
Yeah, you get
That's
paid.
Great.
You get paid well, and
Yeah,
it really
that's
is something.
nice.
It really didn't dawn on me until this past April. I was out on the ship, and I was like, I am starting to feel more relaxed out here. And I was on a ship for 2 weeks. I was home for a week, and then I was back out, same ship but a different run. We were crossing the Atlantic. It was really
the Atlantic
really
run.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Transatlantic. It's a transatlantic cruise. I even mentioned people like, we crossed the Atlantic. They go, the transatlantic? Oh yes, the transatlantic. and that was great, especially we were on with 4 comics, with people I knew, with Mike Gaffney, Dean Edwards, Rob Little, who I just met that cruise, like all great comics and great hang. And there were other guest entertainers, so somebody knows that we're all going to dinner together. You're getting to hang out with other people that have this similar lifestyle to us.
Right.
So the more people you're kind of hanging out with, then you meet more people, and it really like makes the crew, like it's how you get through it, like together, and people you can go explore with and stuff. But the week that I was home in between, it was not relaxing because I was trying to catch up on everything I hadn't done. I was trying to run around the city and like do spots to make sure I'm like showing face, like I'm not missing there.
Right. Yeah.
And it was so stressful.
Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah.
And it was like finally getting back out there. And also I'm looking at, I'm like, this whole week I spent all this money. I wasn't making money, and it was stressful. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, it's relaxing to be out here because I am getting paid every day.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes
like
total
if I break
sense.
it down like that, I'm getting paid every day that I'm sitting out here sending emails, where that's not happening.
And you don't
at all.
And you don't think to yourself, and I don't know if this is the right way of thinking or not, but because you have to get on a cruise.
Yeah.
I've said it a million times. You're one of my favorites. You've been for a long time. You have to be good if you're going to get a cruise. They don't just take anybody. They're not going to take just some of the open micers that are just walking into this club. You have to be good. So if you're out doing some cruises, you still have to worry about showing your face in the city. For that week you're home. Really?
Always. I think that never ends.
Really?
Well, it just also it's good to be like I'm around, and it's also just good to, I think, get on a different stage.
Okay.
It's just it refreshes your brain. I think performing in as many different places as possible, I think, is just good for our comedic brain.
Okay.
I'm not as bad as I used to be, where I feel like it used to be like, go, hustle, let me get on this, let me get on that. Where it's now I can absolutely take a lot more days off and stay away from it kind of thing. But yeah, I think a lot of that is important. Like when you have the weeks in between. I think people kind of get caught up in that. Like a lot of people say, like when you go out to the ships, they go, don't get lost out there. Because, some people just start picking up different cruises. And again, you're working, you're making money. But then comedically, some people never, it's out of sight, out of mind. People don't see certain people again. And then they forget that even though, yes, they're working, making a living, but if people aren't seeing you, you get lost.
But I mentioned a guy like John Joseph. I mean, it seems like most, I could be totally wrong, but from on the outside, watching him, it seems like most of his work is cruise ships. So,
probably, yeah.
Unless that's, that's got to be tough too, because you're away from your family a lot too. So I don't know, is that? I would think that would be okay. Like I'm working as a comedian, I'm on these cruise ships. Oh, it's almost like a steady gig and a gig that is a career type money. So why? Yeah. So that like you still feel like if you took that route, like John Joseph, like you would still have to kind of still make sure that you're around, or just hey, I'm on the cruises making my money, I'm good. Did that come out right?
I guess it depends on each person, but
okay.
The thing is, I feel like especially with the cruise ships, it's an opportunity to, if you go out on those ships, you have to have at least an hour and a half of like good material at least.
Oh, is it that long? You're up there?
Because you're definitely doing at least 2 different 45-minute shows. So it is a real testament to how much material you have. It forces you to write new material, and you have to look over. You're splitting up all your shows because you have so many different shows. People come back to multiple shows. So you have to really go through your set and sort of sharpen that up to like what's going to be the flow of these sets.
Right.
Getting used to that. Mm-hmm. And then you really see where the lulls are in your sets, or what jokes are weak, where you go, oh, I put all these jokes together, but there's not enough pop in here. I got to sharpen this up, or I got to add a new tag. That happened on this past cruise, the family show, there's kids there. And I'm like, I have this whole chunk that's like storytelling that honestly, some of them are jokes I just would never do anymore. But I want to fill this time, and they're clean jokes, and they're not bad jokes, but I know that it's too much of lulls without enough hits. And it forced me to write while I was out there. And I added 2 more tags to a joke that if I wasn't in that situation, I don't know if I'm working on that specific joke. But I did, and it keeps your mind active in that way. But I think it's also the kind of thing of you are performing on people's vacation. You're performing in a sense of random people are just coming to the comedy show. They're not buying tickets to come see a comedy show.
Right.
Some of the audiences, again, they've been sometimes sightseeing all day. They can be quiet. Like you're the random thing to do.
Right.
And it's different than somebody planning all day to come out to a comedy night.
See, I never thought about that either. I'm on the ship in the middle of the sea with nothing else to do. I'll go see the comedy show.
Yeah, I might just pop in, or it's the thing that's happening in the theater that night.
Yeah.
And in general, most of the shows are really great. But again, like I just don't think anyone as a comedian should limit themselves to only performing for one type of audience. I think that we need that shift. And it's also the kind of thing, you're working out there, you are still doing a corporate gig. So there is some stuff you can't get away with out there. That, that's why you want to like do stuff in the city, see what works there. You want to make sure you're doing your own show wherever. I love it. Also makes you so much better. Whereas I had a fundraiser in May after doing all the different shows on the ship, and I had to do 25 minutes on this fundraiser. And the other comic was like, "You just like blew like the roof off," and I was like, because you know how freeing it is to go, you only have to do 25 minutes. You can do any 25 minutes you want.
Right.
You don't. I don't have to break up this set. I can do any of my material, and then that adds like a new pop into that. And I think as comics, any routine we get in that becomes too routine, we become complacent.
Right.
So it's whatever challenge. At least for me, I always love a different kind of challenge, and how can I don't know. Even like we have these family shows, and I notice there's kids there. It's not a kid show, but there's kids there, and you don't want to cater to them. But I also I'm like, this is a new challenge. How can I entertain this kid that doesn't get what stand-up is without like sacrificing what I do? But like, what could I bring in to make them more of the show?
Right.
Like that, if that's my challenge for this day, then I want to figure that out. And I'm like, we have kids in our family who sometimes like to put on shows and then they write jokes. And I'm like, I think I got to talk to the 7-year-olds and be like, what should I be doing? What would you guys like to see? Like, because I like that. Other people would hate the idea of that. Other people would think like, you're selling out, you're this, that. But for me, it's like, this is like another. That's what I don't know. That's a lot of what comedy is. Whatever gig you take and you choose to do, it's about that gig, and it's about figuring out that gig again with keeping it true to you and what you want to do.
That's a great answer, by the way. I love that attitude. Really, that's
what
awesome.
Makes it fun and it makes it challenging, and at times can also make it exhausting and go like, I'm so done, or I just want to.
Well, I just feel old. I asked a 7-year-old. I wouldn't even know what they're talking. They would probably say some actor or some movie or some game. I'd be like, what? I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I actually do that. I host game shows sometimes.
Oh,
and,
cool.
And I'm actually trying to get away from doing kids parties because I don't know what the hell they're talking. Like because I'll do that. I'll try to research. I'll even ask, like if it's a birthday party or something, I'll ask the parents, okay, what is this kid into? And they give me a list, and then I have to find questions to ask about those topics. I don't know what half of these things even are.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, fuck, what are they? I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Now. So, like you're talking about changing up the jokes, the challenge.
Yeah.
So this weekend, Meghan, Saturday night in the Giggle Room.
The Giggle Room.
Do you feel, which I'm shocked, it was actually 2 weeks ago, was the 2-year, June 10th, 2023 was the last time you were here.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I can't believe it's 2 years already. But, the show this weekend is another, hometown.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you feel pressure to change up the show? Because I'm assuming you have some family or friends are coming. Do you feel the pressure to have to change some of the material for them as well?
Yeah. Well, I haven't fully mapped out my set yet, but I really do want to use it as an opportunity to see how much new stuff I have since I recorded my album, because I think it's a lot more than I think. But it's that thing of putting in all the new stuff, but also not just going. I mean, for some people, they go, "I'm just doing new. I can't repeat this other stuff."
Right.
But I get too on myself if there's not enough pops or not enough hits where I go, well, why would you not do some of these jokes that really work in there? And I don't think they care that much because some of them are people. So there'll be people that have never seen me before, but a lot of it's people that have seen me forever. And I think it's that thing of they love certain jokes.
Right.
And
they want to see hits.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
They do want to see some of the hits. And especially if there's people in there, like my family, that the jokes are about them. When they're not mentioned, they're pretty offended. They're like, what about my joke? What about that joke about me? So
can't
it's
believe you
kind
didn't
of
talk about me tonight.
yeah. What was that? So I still have to kind of go over my set, but there is a whole new chunk of new stuff that I've been really excited about that I want to keep expanding on. And I think the benefit, especially pouring in fun of my family and friends, they already like me and know I'm funny and are excited to be there, so I can get away with more. I can do a bit that's newer, and I know that if I really commit to it, it's not going to be silent because they already think I'm funny.
Right. You say hi, they'll laugh. Which is great. That helps with the energy.
Yeah. And I have noticed that from the last show I didn't hear, watching the video back so many times, I was like, oh God, you weren't confident in that bit and you bailed, and they were letting you do it.
Right.
And that happens to me all the time. I go back and I go, you thought that bombed. This is a newer joke, and this just got some laughs. You didn't sit in it. You rushed it. You gave up on it. They didn't. So just going back and figuring that out.
See, even that surprises me because someone as seasoned as you are and as good as you are, it surprises me to hear that, I would just think because after all these years, you would be confident in everything. What
are you kidding? Always hear our failures. It's something I'm working on pretty hard, but it's so easy to see everything that's wrong and everything that you.
Well, we're all our own worst critic.
Of
course. Yeah. There's certain things I can't even watch. Acting wise, I can't. Certain things I've done, I just can't watch the video. I can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, when you're writing your new stuff, do you try stuff on the family at home first?
No,
Before you get on stage, you say, "What do you think of this?" No previews for them.
No, I work with Ophir Eisenberg, who's a great comic. We're writing partners, so it's really we started doing that about 2 years ago, and it's been a game changer because we really try to get together ideally once a week. Sometimes we can't do it till once a month, but we get together on Zoom, and it's what do you got? And we run through our jokes, and then you know what, you could move this, you could do that there. Sometimes we just do a set, which performing for each other to get it out loud. But it's been so helpful, and it's also just been so great to have someone we work together really well. We understand each other's voices really well. But again, some stuff that if it was just me in my head, I'd go. I have jokes that I've bailed on and then revisited and been like, why did I stop doing it? This was good.
Right.
But I bailed on it. And then we get together for a writing session and she's like, I've been quoting this joke to people. How have you not been doing it for a year? And I'm like, I don't know if people would like it. And she's like, stop it. Like, do it. Like, figure it out. So I think it is important to have that because, we can just derail ourselves so badly.
Yeah.
And you have one set and you just go, oh my God, like this is awful. Or I go through waves sometimes where I'm like, am I even do stand-up anymore? Like what is happening to me? Like this is bad. Like, or I'm just too in my head up there, or I'm trying to do too many different things and not just being present in the room, but I don't even know, I'm not even aware of that.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes I feel like over the years I'm getting so much better and so much worse at the same time. Like you're like, there's too much information now.
Well, and we're all thrown. You have a crowd that's having a great time. You get that one or two that's not laughing, and that.
You get drawn to it.
That one or two people get
What's the matter with these two?
Right. And that can mess with your head sometimes.
And I also feel like it really depends some nights in the city because city's tough because you really are only doing sometimes 12 minutes, 10 minutes, and everybody's hitting and you were like, I better just go up there and kill. But again, I also don't want to just do the older jokes. You want to do stuff you're working on and like finding the balance of that. But there is sometimes weeks in the city where I go through these weird ruts and then you go like, wait a minute, like these are people that like maybe are visiting New York and like this is just a to-do list.
Right.
Like, and they're wasted and they're at this show and I'm basing like what I'm going to work on for my next hour on the random people that probably don't even remember or not having the same experience I'm having at all.
Right.
And like there's shows I've gotten off stage because I'm so focused on one certain set of jokes and I think the whole thing was horrible. And then sometimes I'll run into people like on the bathroom line after the show and they're like, we loved you. And I'm like, oh really? Because I've been berating myself.
Right.
for a half hour on how I don't know how to do comedy anymore and I'm a failure. And like, but you guys enjoyed it? Like, okay.
But like you said, we're our own worst critics no matter what. Oh, and nothing will change that.
No.
It's just the way it is.
Sometimes I'll watch, somebody that's up, on one of the stages here, and I'm watching the audience. I'm like, oh, this guy's not getting any laughs. This guy is not having a good night, guy or girl. And then they come off the stage and like, wow, man, that was great, man. And I'm like, what did you? Where were you? That's not what I saw. But then it just makes me wonder too. Like, do I do the same thing when I go up and do a set? Like,
no.
I like to think I have a good read. I've been doing audience interactive dinner theater since the 90s, and that's like 75% crowd work. So I feel I have a good read on an audience, but I wonder if I'm the same way, and I've had that where I get off the stage, I'm like, oh man, that was terrible, and a guy came up to me once, he goes, you're exactly my kind of humor, and that sticks with me. But that's one guy. I'm like, all right, you're one out of the other 69 people fucking hated me. Like I don't know. We're so, like you said, we're so in our heads. Yeah. It's crazy.
And sometimes they don't actually hate us. It's just we know exactly what we want the crowd to sound like and what the crowd should feel like. But sometimes they are just a quiet crowd who's smiling.
Yes.
And like they are really enjoying it.
Right.
And it's just not what we expected
exactly.
out of them.
Right.
And it just, I think in general, again, unless you're going to see a specific act and it's like, this is who we're here to see. So already you kind of have like more things sort of in common. Maybe you're bigger comedy fans or all that. But if you're really just going to a random show, sometimes they just don't gel as a crowd. Like you're putting 70 random people, sometimes from all over the world, that happen to sit down in a room and now have had 2 drinks and we're like, can you guys work together?
Right.
And sometimes they don't. Sometimes they can't. Like they're not on the same page. And then that energy, it just gets picked up on in weird ways. Somebody gets tense, somebody else gets tense. Sometimes people there is like a lost in translation happening, but we don't know that's what's happening. And it can be so many different factors. And then.
But we all walk up there hoping for that rip-roaring,
the roar of the crowd.
Nonstop cracking up. Yeah. And it's funny you say that, too. I remember a few years ago, there was a show here where at least 50% of the show were deaf, and they had an interpreter.
Yeah.
So the comedians are on the stage doing their bit, and you have half the room is laughing when they're telling a joke, but then the other half, the interpreter, the comedian's ready to move on, but the interpreter's still going. So 5 seconds after all the hearing people laugh, now the deaf people all of a sudden laughing.
Oh, wow.
So it threw off like the timing for everybody. Everybody was coming off the stage. Oh, wow, man, that threw me off. I didn't know what to do.
Interesting.
Joey Cola, who I always talk about, I should just change the name of the show to the Joey Cola Show. He was here that night, and he just had fun with it. He was he was making fun of the interpreter and like starting to dance with it, and the interpreter started to dance, because Joey's just a genius. But everybody else was like, "Oh man, am I glad I'm done?" That threw me off. So there are those lost in translation type moments. It's crazy.
Yeah, and I think we all, and you brought up like the comic that comes off stage and bombs, and we all know these people. They are not good, and they bomb all the time, and they think they're amazing. And I think it's our fear. You go, oh my, I don't want to become that person.
Right.
Like it's that thing of like, oh, I'd rather be too critical than be that person.
Yes.
But there is something about the audience picks up on confidence. And if you are blindly up there thinking you're killing, and now especially like with the internet, if someone's just comfortable up there and posting a clip, people again are drawn to that and they don't even know why.
Right.
So it's like we have to find a balance.
Right.
This is embarrassing, and I've just started doing this recently because I had a show recently where I listened back to it, and yes, there were lulls of things that I needed to fix, but it wasn't as horrible as I thought. But when I was going through the time when I wasn't getting the laughs, in my head, I started going, this is awful. Like, I was doing that in my head.
Oh, on stage while it's happening.
In my head, it's happening.
Yeah.
And even when I listen back, I'm like, this whole show isn't bad, but you got so negative in your head. There's no way they don't start to feel that. Like, they started, like, somehow they're then not trusting you.
Yeah,
it's a subconscious
it's like a
thing.
vibe.
Yes.
You know?
They can pick up on a whole vibe.
So now I've started doing this. It's so dumb. But sometimes right before I go on stage, I look at myself in the mirror and I go, you are so funny. And I'm like, you're so funny. They're so lucky to see you. And I'd be sitting talking to myself. I'm like, you're so good. And this is great. And now, especially if it's going bad, I mean, I'm still trying to fix it.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, don't get negative. Somehow they're going to feel it. Like,
It's actually a great idea.
Telling yourself, like, you're so funny.
Right.
Maybe this is an experiment I'm only recently working on.
Well, is it so far so good?
I think so. I've been getting a lot more positive feedback.
I'm gonna try that before I go on stage. I'm gonna picture Meghan Hanley saying, "You're so funny."
You're so
I think you should do it.
But she's talking about my face. But you're so funny. Look,
I knew that.
I took Truson's class here. John Truson took it years ago, and he actually said that in the class. He goes, "It doesn't matter how bad the joke is, especially you guys in this class. You know, everybody's new." Your jokes are going to be bad in the beginning. But no matter how bad it is, you have to sell it 100% like you think it's the funniest thing you ever heard.
Yeah.
The audience picks up on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely they do.
They pick up on so many things that we just don't even realize. And I think they do really relate to you have those moments where you're absolutely off script, but something sort of happened. I don't even mean like a funny crowd work moment. I mean just something weird happens. I know with myself, sometimes I'll just go in these weird like little tangents, and I'm not speaking like I should be speaking in front of group people, but it's just so me that like it kind of bonds them to you in this other way.
Absolutely right.
But then you also gotta like make sure like let's not spiral this whole show into
right. There's
all such a fine line.
There is a very fine line.
Everything
Yeah,
is a fine line.
because those moments are like highlights for some people, but if it goes on too long, it either dies off or it's just like enough already. Let's get back. But but I think I like that you mentioned that because that is one of the things that I like about you. And again, Joey Cola, Richie Byrne.
Yeah.
You watch people like yourself, and you feel comfortable, and you start to feel like we know you, and it does. It forms a bridge, and there's that likability factor. Then people will laugh more because they like you, and and you're very good at that.
Thanks,
you're very
I
good.
appreciate
Absolutely.
that. As you heard from this, it's just we're all huge head cases.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know how words come out sometimes. There's so much firing here. That's like,
it's like, if you see a crowd that's just they're kind of like doing this, and you feel that, I would just be like, listen, I don't know what's wrong with you people. I am
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you should see a doctor. Spend some time on the couch.
But-
I'm funny.
And that
Hey,
works
let
too.
them know.
That works too, right? When you acknowledge
Yeah,
that something
right,
didn't
right.
hit,
It's
they
not
like
working.
that. Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know Mike Gaffney?
Yeah,
Mike
yeah.
Gaffney. So he'll have this thing. We'll go, you know what? Some of you need to fix your face.
See,
It's over. And then with that like jersey, I'm not gonna say who. I'm not gonna say who. It's some people in this room. I might be looking at you. I might not be looking at you. But you're gonna go back later to your room and you're gonna go, oh, it's my face. It's my face. Was he talking about me? I am. Fix your face.
Fantastic. Tim Gage is good at that too. He'll
Yeah.
just stop. You know.
Yeah.
He'll just stop sometimes. These are the jokes, people.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know a lot of people say that line, but just the way
Yeah.
Tim has just such a I don't give a fuck attitude that
That's great.
it just works up there. Yeah, just the way he says it.
Well,
These are
that's-
jokes.
you
people.
definitely need to have a don't give a crap attitude with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually, Oscar Aiden actually said that the other night. I don't remember what exactly we were talking about, but he actually said, he goes, I go up there, he goes, and he goes, honest to God, he goes, I don't care. He goes,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Great.
And that is a good I care.
Yeah.
I'm scared shit half the time, but
Yeah.
but
Well,
I,
that's what he has himself to do. Get
Right,
through
right. I
what
don't
might
care.
be a bad or show or a
Right.
good show.
Yeah.
He just says, screw it, whatever.
Yeah.
now what about? So you mentioned your album, This Happy,
Yeah.
so I mentioned, and I talked about you were here 2 years ago.
Yeah.
The album, I believe, was just coming out, or it just came out
yeah,
around
the
that
album
time.
had come out, and I think that like week or so that I was here is like the special,
Right.
Just the video version of it came out. So
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
So now it's just again, it's that sort of working towards the next.
Well, right. That's
thing.
what I was going to ask. So once that's out,
Yeah.
do you feel more pressure now to change
Yeah.
your set? Because people can just sit home and hear this. Now I have to.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it got in my head like way too much.
Really?
Like, it felt like I can't do any of these jokes, and you go, but if I can't do any of these jokes, then what jokes do I have? And then
Yeah.
the new stuff's not good enough. And then it took a while to get out of that, and I think part of it
wow.
also then having enough newer stuff helps. But I still feel like I'm stuck in. I have a lot of new jokes, but a lot of them sort of the start of it is an older joke. You know, like that sort of gets me into it. So it's kind of like, well, if I start removing those jokes, then I got to kind of work from there and like, well, what will be the new?
How do you think the audience is? So let's say I'm an audience member. I heard the album.
Yeah.
But hearing the album might be what got me into in the first place. So
Right.
do you think that there's a certain percentage of people in the audience that want to hear some of those jokes from that album, like almost like a song, like
Yeah.
there's a nostalgia, a favorite
I think
factor?
so.
Yeah.
I think so, especially because it's not the kind of thing, especially we were talking about the cruise ships. Like, if people were to come to I have like, oh, this is my adult show in the comedy club, and I tell them, if you guys come back Thursday, it is this show. Unless you're having that experience where in the same 3 days, you see the same exact set.
Yeah.
And even in that case, sometimes you go, oh, I loved the show. I'm going to go see that show again, kind of thing.
Right.
Other than that, like, every show in a way is different. You're mixing things up enough. But I don't know. I think it's different for every person. There are some people that just go, I've heard like Mark Norman talk about this, like when he's working on new material, that he puts it, the old stuff he does at the end, and he says, like, now I'm going to do stuff. He goes, because what he was finding is if he would have this huge chunk, almost the whole show's new, but he starts putting some of the old stuff in the middle of it, people leave going, I saw those jokes already.
Wow.
Because they just remember a few of the jokes and they think they saw all of them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But again, you just don't know what people remember. So then him and Sam Morril are both saying they will put it at like the end and like say, I'm going to do these jokes from this thing. And of course, they're also huge names. People have seen all of their stuff. People haven't seen a ton of my stuff. Most places I go, they haven't heard my album. They haven't seen it. Maybe they saw a few clips online.
Right.
But there's good and bad to that, because then you go, okay, but get out the new stuff. Don't rest on this too much.
Yeah. But they should hear the album. It was number one on Apple Music.
Oh, I mean, sure. They only release like one comedy album every 2 weeks, so you're number one with like 5 sales. But
it's still number one.
That's right.
It's still a number one. But I talked about this with Greg Warren, who's so funny. Which if you don't know Greg Warren or know his stuff, he's so good. And we did a show together last February, and his special had come out. The Salesman came out maybe a year before. And he did just come out with another new special, but when he was, this was last February, and he had about like 20 minutes, and he said, some of this actually I already had, but I didn't put on the last special. He goes, so that was great. I had this chunk that was like good, but I wanted to keep it so I could work off that. And then I was watching him work out a lot of these new jokes, but he's got hours and hours of material, and it's stuff that I've seen him do that are like some favorites of mine. And I was watching from show to show. After he would work on the newer stuff and stuff he wanted to work out, which was still a good chunk of time, each show is different with kind of like a best of, and like I loved it.
Yeah,
and it was so good. And also they loved it. The audience loved it. And you also don't know how many people are new to him or are fans of his. And it was just like, this is still a different show every time.
Right.
And even back-to-back shows, I'm watching the stuff that's the newer stuff get sharper.
Right.
Like I liked it on both shows.
Yep.
And then the second half was this like great best of, and I even said to him, I was like, people are putting out stuff once a year. I was like, I can't write that fast. And he's like, it takes about 3 years. And I was like, I appreciated the honesty of that, of like 3 years. Wow. And then he ended up doing it in 2, because then he's just been working so much, and he got material out quicker. But still, then you go, oh, okay, I'm not like so wrong, because you see what other people are doing, and you go, you always just feel behind.
Yeah,
you go, oh my gosh, they have another hour coming out.
Oh yeah,
I'm not ready for that.
Jim Florentine, he puts out a new special at least once a year, sometimes more. I'm like,
wow.
I've even asked him, Jim, what? That's crazy to me. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's amazing.
It's amazing.
But it doesn't compute in my head.
Yeah, and I know some people again I've heard them talk and say, I just get so sick of my material so quick. I get it out, I want to record it, and I don't want to even hear it myself again. I think I get a little too obsessed with, one, the audience, making sure everybody's happy, and then being more like, this can't be out till it's perfect. And then that keeps you, I think, sometimes stuck in your own cycle where, you can have a thing that maybe has like more hit, but then you're holding yourself back a little bit too. Of it's not ready. It's
right.
Like this.
Yep. That makes sense.
Figuring that out.
We are hanging out with Meghan Hanley. You can see her this Saturday in the Giggle Room. Go to govs.com. Oh, what is that? Oh, they can go to your website as well for tickets?
Yeah, sure. They can go to my
I didn't know that. How does that work? They go to your website and then there's a link?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the link to Govs.
If you go to my Instagram, there's the link tree on there.
That
says see me live. Then you go to my website. It says, click for ticks. It's the Govs link.
govs.com, baby. Go see Meghan. You will not be disappointed. She's fantastic. Let me just read some comments, and then we'll let's see. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Let's see. Wow, there's more comments than I thought going on here.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I read some early. Just because Corky had Down syndrome, I never understood why they gave him so much. I don't know what that is.
Skip.
Yeah. So Vicky says, Beck, he's a loser, baby. Got it.
There you go.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. John Rusciello, same with me. Just watched Tony's show Saturday and Sunday dawn at Disney World with our niece all weekend. What? Fremder had a great time this weekend in my backyard listening to the Beach Boys. Okay. All right, good.
Great.
Tony finally has an Anglo-Saxon on. What is with you? What is going on?
I mean, I am so pale. I can't
I get,
up there. I'm like, oh my god.
I was going to ask you. We're on a cruise. Where's your color?
SPF 50. That's
it is brutal.
That's what I use here. 50.
So bad.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, it was 97.5 that would play the concerts at Jones Beach. That's from Bosie. Thanks, Bosie. I didn't know that. I would have been.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that at all. Vicky's trying to survive this heat. But I did get a really cool print from Fremder. All right, Fremder. So all the listeners are talking to each other. We have a nice family here.
Nice.
And I guess they're all sending each other stuff.
What's Fremder?
Fremder's a guy's name.
Oh,
okay. Andrew Fremder.
Name, yeah. Okay.
He's the only person. I've been doing this show since March of 18. Yeah. And he's the only person that's pretty much been watching from day one.
Wow.
Yeah.
He comes out with some good comments.
And he comes out with some really bad ones.
Some bad ones as well.
Summer. Andrea is watching from Texas. Ann is watching from California. If you missed Tony's Green Room show on Saturday, I highly recommend to watch the replay. It was a blast. Thank you very much. Yes, it was almost 3 hours, which I couldn't believe.
Oh, yeah?
Couldn't believe that. Carol Miner's watching.
Oh, Carol. Carol.
That's right. Carol was a big fan of yours. I remember the last time you were here, she was talking about the mall walkers. Actually, I think she just, good morning, all you mall walkers, she said. Yeah. Scott, okay. Somehow the live chat always has more jokes than the actual show. Oh, the chat. Oh, you guys talking? Okay. Andrea, going on a cruise is on my bucket list, says Andrea. All right, well, do it when Megan's playing on a cruise somewhere. Tony, ask the hard question. How much buck does she make on a cruise ship? I am not asking her that. Scott says she looks great for a comedian that worked on a cruise ship. Most people gain 5 to 10 pounds on a trip. She's not just a road comic; she's a water comic. Oh my goodness! See, it's comments like that make me put the phone down and stop reading comments. So, all right. Big question here.
This is like a paragraph written out. I don't know
Oh,
what happened.
This is just about all Meghan Hanley coverage right here.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. No messing around
How much
here.
time we got left?
I told you that last time. We don't mess around here. But I remember from the last time you were here that you didn't refuse, but you surprised me. I think I asked you like your favorite Yankee or something. And you're like, I don't do that. I don't do that. All right, but if you had, what if I asked for your top 5 Yankees? Would you do that?
I guess I just don't really think about it. It's something I would have to think about at home and come back.
All right, let me do this then.
You know what what I've realized? I feel like this is like a guy versus girl thing. Guys are so into lists.
Is that right? It's a guy thing?
I really do think so.
Really?
This is totally being general, of course.
Okay, yeah.
But I do think it's like guys like to talk like that. Like when you work with even different comics, they love to talk about who their favorite comics are and their top bits and jokes. And I'm like, I could care less.
Really? But you must have. But there must be certain comedians who are like, that you want to.
Like I like and this and that, and then it changes, and I see somebody and I go, oh my god, you know who I just saw last week? I love that about them.
Oh, okay.
But I do think it's something like I'm just spit at myself. It's something like in a brain type thing. I just think guys, and I don't mean it's in a bad way. I think something about. Maybe you got like a mathematical. I don't know that it's like you guys like.
We're just idiots.
Was it something like competitive nature? You think maybe or
it's
something?
like you guys do like. Who's the best? Who's the best? And why are they the best? And arguing the best and like top this, top that.
But I'm assuming there must be some comedians that made you want to get into it. So you wouldn't think of those as your
Chris
favorites.
Rock is probably why I wanted to get into comedy. And then watching Seinfeld was on his show, so I was like, I want to do that. I want to have a show.
Yeah, I want a sitcom.
Yeah, he's like, I want. Okay,
is
he's funny.
That
he wrote a show.
Is that your goal? Does someday have a?
It used to be.
Not now.
I mean, I would love. Sure, I'm open to everything. I would love to, and that's like really the longer you do this, you realize that's like where the money is.
Yeah,
for not that it's like less work, but like think about all the work we do as stand-ups to do your own individual show, putting together tours, trying to fill seats that like you get like a TV deal. It's a lot of work that goes into it, but there's a lot coming.
We could start a whole new Three's Company. Maybe 2 guys and a girl. We could be the idiots, and she could be.
Well, we are the idiots. What's this could be stuff?
The comedic lady in charge of us. You know.
Come be.
Let's do it.
Yeah, no, but I'd love to. Sure, I'd love to have a show. I just, you know what it is. I used to think more of, yes, these are all the goals that I want, and I want this thing. And then when certain things don't happen, then you get so in yourself because that didn't happen. And I still all these years in don't know the path to any of that. You know, like I've had people sort of submit me for a while. I would just get no's from everybody, and then some commercial stuff, but like not even that many submissions or that many auditions. So you go like, yeah, I'd love to do all that, but I'm not getting that opportunity. Okay, like the only opportunity I feel like I have some control of is like you can sit down and write, and you can get on stage. And it's the hope that continuing to do that will lead to something.
Yeah.
But that's
in the meantime, just enjoying that.
Like trying to work through that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, again, if you put my face on a wall with a ton of other actresses, just looking at photos, I'm probably not booking it. But if you come see my show and you get to know me, you go, oh, she'd be a great fit for that. I feel like I see it as that.
If you don't mind me saying, There's a video you just put up. You were in a dressing room, and you were saying something about all the coats or uniforms
Yeah,
behind
that
you.
was like the last night on the ship.
I'm just gonna come out and say you're wearing this red dress. You looked fantastic.
Thank you.
If you no, I'm sorry, but if there's a bunch of pictures of and you're wearing that red dress in particular, I think I might stop and say, all right, wait a minute, bring that one in. And I'm not trying to be creepy I'm just saying you look fantastic.
I feel like
I
there's
am
something
creepy.
about you hit 40s and like. You're like, can somebody please compliment how I look?
Oh, all right, good. Now I feel better.
Because when you're younger, and especially younger generation, they're like, how dare you bring up... I don't know. Maybe it's more our generation. You get older, and every time you look in the mirror, you see something else and go, what's happening here? And then someone goes, you look good. You're like, thank you so much. I don't take that.
We just talked about it the other night. There was a young comedian that came in here a few years ago. At the time, she was in, I think, her mid-20s. And we were joking around, and I think she said something about... I don't remember. I don't remember if it was burping or farting, but she said something about how she likes to do one of those.
Okay.
And I said, "Oh, you're the perfect woman for me." And of course, all I heard after that was what a creep I was. I'm like, I didn't mean it that way. I was joking around, but now I feel better. I said that Megan looked great. Hello, sir. Did you butt call us?
John?
So I think he butt called.
Oh, boy.
Oh, can you hear us now?
If you're... All right, he's gone. Okay. Sorry about that. if there wasn't a butt call, he'll...
John.
He's famous for doing that.
Oh,
That's
really?
the same gentleman that called before.
Oh, my God. So that's probably, the reason.
Yeah, it probably was.
See, I thought he was calling back because he wanted to talk to me.
Right.
Oh, that could be. He missed you before, yes.
It sounded like he was almost maybe like in a car, so maybe he's...
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just doesn't have enough...
I was trying to get my daughter to come back.
To come here?
With me, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's like, all
She'd
right.
be bored out of her
goes,
mind.
She goes, well, do I have to?
Yeah,
said,
exactly.
I said, well, you don't want to? She goes, I wanted to lay out in the sun so I could get tan before graduation on her 8th grade graduation, high school next year. She said, I wanted to get tan before graduation on Thursday. I was like, all right. So now I had to go home and then back here. Luckily, I zigzagged through the side streets. I'm at my house.
So Andrea's...
All right.
Oh, he is calling back. Okay, let's see. Andrea says her favorite Yankee is Matsui. Sorry, not Matsui. Yeah, Matsui. I was right. Yeah, Matsui. Are you there?
Bad connection. I'm sorry.
That's
sorry.
okay.
It's on my end.
Yeah, we weren't sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to Jeff. I haven't seen him in 3 weeks. And then he walked out. All right.
Just as you were calling, yeah.
Right, he walked out because you called. He didn't want to talk to you.
Is that true, Jeff?
No, John, you know better. I had to go get my.
I know.
Pick up my
Well,
daughter
he
at
has to get me
Taco
back
Bell.
because. All right, I wanted to ask you a question, Jeff, because I'm very concerned about this. Did you watch the Green Room show Saturday night
I did
with
not
Tony
get to.
and his guest?
No, I'm going to have to go back and watch it on the feed. I did not.
Yes,
get to see it live.
I really wish you would, because this is just my opinion. But I watched the whole show. It was a fantastic show, as Tony's shows always go.
Thank you, pal.
All right, and it was really off the charts. Everybody loved it. All right, but there was a particular guest that Tony had on that I think, in my opinion, was very attracted to Tony. Okay.
Really? Do tell.
Yes, very, very attracted to Tony. All right, and I don't know how Tony felt about that. I know Tony's a married man. But
was it Farley?
She was very concerned. She was very interested about his stump. Okay,
She did seem to like my stump. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you see, I'm not talking out of school, Tony.
No, you're not, pal. No, you're not.
Okay. So but Jeff, I need your opinion, because you know Tony a long, long time. You're high school friends, and you really have to. I want your opinion.
Okay. I will definitely hit you up on that. No doubt.
Okay. And thank God you have a very normal guest on Wednesday, on Monday. Usually you have this kid. Usually you have this kid. What's his name? Skylar.
Tyler Noble.
Ty. Yeah. No.
No
Ty
Tyler
today.
Noble. Yeah. Well, I have another opinion about him, but my mother said she used to say to me, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
My mother said the same thing.
Right.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right, Johnny. Good talking to you,
Love
buddy.
you, man. All right. Talk to you later.
You got it.
All right. Are you familiar with Tyler Noble? He plays the city a little bit.
No, I don't know him.
He's kind of new, but he's.
Are you
he's
offended
out
you were
there.
called normal?
I was like, where is this
Who is
going?
he calling
Where
me
is
normal?
this going?
So Andrea likes Matsui. Friender.
I know.
I'm just gonna skip that. Andrea says, as a flight attendant, there was a time pilots could say "nice ass," and our response was, "Oh, thank you." Not no more. So right. Well, I didn't.
No, I mean not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you'd like it if I said that to you. But
No.
yeah.
I mean, if somebody says a compliment to you and say like, "You look great," you're like,
Yeah.
"Thank you so much." That's a nice thing to say.
Like if somebody says, "You look great in those jeans," you know they're talking
That's
about
a
your
little,
ass.
that's a little,
That's obvious.
that's
But is it better to say it that way because that's a little more polite, or no?
Yeah, I can think like that
don't
gets a
know.
little too.
Yeah.
I mean,
That might
I
be a
would like
little
I would
creepy.
like for somebody to say that if I'm like on a date with them.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like
Right.
that's different. You know.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So, So let me rephrase this. So we're not talking about favorites, but if you had 2 minutes with Derek Jeter, what would you want to talk about? Because you're a big sports
I'm a big
person.
Yankee. This is really putting me on the spot. Putting me on the spot. 2 minutes,
right.
Derek Jeter. I would just say thank you. If
Oh,
I was in
that's
the
a
room with
great
Derek
answer.
Jeter, I'd say Derek, right off the bat. Just first of all, I want to tell you that years ago, my aunt had a dream about you. It's not what you think. She had a dream you were at our family reunion. And her thing was, no, not anyone thinks. No, he was just hanging out with us. And that just so much of the Yankees has always been it's about family. It's
Right.
watching Yankee games with the family, watching with my grandparents when I was a
Nice.
kid, just always having Yankee games on. And that it's just it's such a through line,
Yeah.
that's and it's also something to always talk about when you want to avoid other things.
So now talking about possibly a sitcom or whatever, but
Yeah.
you do a lot. Again, the sports Tabata, which
Yeah.
I've been a fan of for years. Have you ever tried to get into the sports world? I mean, you're engaging, you're funny, you got
Yeah.
a fun personality, you're pretty. Like I would think that would be the perfect thing.
I've always thought comedy and sports go hand in hand so well.
Oh, interesting,
I
yeah.
don't know why there's not more comedy in sports. I think that.
No, but I'm
I don't
talking about
know.
like even being like a sideline reporter or
That
ESPN.
kinda, I mean, I feel like that is a totally different way to go.
Yeah.
I would love to do. Maybe people do like man on the street type things, or they bring people in now from social media that gets ask players questions and stuff like that. I think that whole field though, to actually be on the field or anything like that, that is a separate thing where I think people are submitting different types of audition tapes, and you're committing to doing that. I wouldn't be able to do stand up if I did that. Like,
Well, yeah, but
but I also have no idea how to get into any of that.
Yeah,
It's like
okay.
anything else. I don't know how to get into it. So even
I don't know if you're fooling us with the sports Tabata. It just seems like you're very knowledgeable
Yeah.
with sports. So I
Yeah.
would think you'd be able find it very easily to just come up with. All right, you got 2 minutes with
Yeah.
I don't know with Aaron Judge.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'd be able to do that with no problem. I would think. Yeah.
No, I would love to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like Sports Tabata, there's been many different versions of it. I brought it back during the pandemic just to give myself some focus and something to do every week that it was getting me to write 4 jokes, write, film, record, edit, produce it, just kept my mind active. And then I stopped doing it because then we started getting busy again with stuff and I started getting sick of it and I was like, all right, now we're back in the real world. And then anytime I've done Tabata, it's usually because things aren't going well. Like I brought it back last year because I was just so frustrated. I felt like I had no control over anything. I felt like I was putting too much output in and not getting enough work back. I was having just so much open schedule, not making money and going, this doesn't make sense. I've only gotten better at this and I'm getting booked less. This is weird. And I was like, well, what's something that I can do at home? I can write these jokes every week and it keeps my mind healthy in doing it. And it's fun. And I
love
enjoy
it.
it. But
I've always loved
I
it.
would love for somebody. I think it's something that could exist on the internet either every day or once a week. Here's a quick sports recap.
Right.
But it's something I have to decide for myself now if I want to be able to do more things. Like the algorithm, because I'm only doing this once a week and it's sports and it's comedy, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't take off because I'm not committed enough to doing enough sports things that it recognizes it. If my feed's mostly stand up and then once a week I have this thing, it's fine, but whatever. So I have to kind of really decide if I just want to do it as this exercise for myself and it has its own Instagram, but
Right.
they're all archived there, they all exist. Or do I want to commit to 3 days a week or more, you have to do a different sports thing. So I'm engaging constantly
Right.
with that
A
audience.
separate
to try
sports
to,
Tabata page with
yeah,
more
it has its
content.
own page, but
Oh, it
almost
does.
kind of thing
Oh.
where it's pick a topic of something going on and talk about it
Right.
and make it funny, but also make sure there's points in it. and if I were to do that enough, kind of see where that leads. But also, again, if like, is that something I'm committed to? Where if they go, okay, now we have all these like sports things for you to do, but I go, but then maybe will it affect my stand-up? You know, like that
sure.
kind of thing.
Okay.
Also, do I obviously overthink all of this? Yes. So where it could go. Again, once again, I'm like, but what if? And it's like,
Well, I'm
what
thinking-
else is possible? Like,
You ever see John Boy Media? You ever see that?
No,
It's John. I don't know what it means. JOMBOY. It's one word. John
Okay.
Boy Media. This guy is It's two guys, but usually it's one. They make these great videos where he breaks down. He does mostly baseball. Well, he'll break down a play, and it's current. You know, this is what happened today at the San Francisco game, and it's like maybe a crazy play or an ejection or a fight. But what he does is he talks about the play. He knows his baseball stuff, but he also slows it down, and he reads their lips, and he'll tell you what they're saying to each other.
Cool.
It's hysterical, and it's great. But yeah, MLB just gave him. He's been around for a few years. I want to say at least 5 years.
Yeah.
MLB just signed a contract with him.
Yeah.
And immediately I'm like, oh, see, that could be sports Tabata.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that happening with just some other women that at certain points have come up in my algorithm, because my algorithm is mostly it's comedy and sports. And
Right.
I think it's more sports actually than comedy. And someone who I noticed was sort of just getting some more followers, and now like she is on like the red carpet at the ESPYs. She's doing stuff for MLB. Like it's really. But she is on there every day, kind of. You know, so you really have to go commit to.
Right.
You know, like I even went on the ship last week. I was like, okay, I'm doing Tabata, and then with the Panthers winning the cup, I wanted to do this whole thing about like how women should get into hockey because of like just how like hot.
You said that
the guys are. Yeah.
this week's
and I was going to do
Tabata.
a whole separate segment on it, and then it's like, wait, I have a show tonight in the
Right.
club. Wait, I just
Right.
filmed Tabata. The internet out here is not great. When am I? Then it becomes I have
Right.
another show tonight. When am I editing this? So it's
Plus-
something I have to really think about.
But nobody really cares if Florida won. That's part of it too. I'm
Sure.
joking. I'm joking.
Sure, I think a lot of people.
the second year
a lot
in
of
a
people
row.
did tap
For the
out. I
second
think
year in
this
a
year
row.
from the NHL playoffs. They really
Yeah.
did. Or do I go the WNBA route? Because I've gotten like really into like the Liberty, where I'm like, okay, I actually just enjoy watching these games.
Yeah.
Should I talk more about that? And then
Caitlin
maybe
Clark
I get
is
to hang
huge
out
right now.
with the Liberty.
You hit the nail on the head with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she's.
How is it that everybody gets away with the crap they do to her?
She's doing a lot back.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But so do you
She's
think she
instigating
has
a
to?
lot.
I think
Or
it's
you
a
think
little
she's
bit.
instigating it?
I think it also depends absolutely on who they're playing. Like it's like it's everything that happened with the Connecticut Suns. The Connecticut Suns are an awful team. Like they're garbage. And like they're 2-10. They're not good. They got
Right.
rid of all their star players. Like Marbury wants to leave, she can't leave. And it becomes this thing. I think it's also with these younger players. They've like got beef left over from who's this girl that's getting all this money and we all played together. So
Yes.
the younger players are focusing way too much on that. And I don't think enough on their own skill level and their own basketball. And then they're seeing what can sell things. And they are going after her more. But then it's causing this like, it's becoming that on those certain games. But like that doesn't happen when they play the Liberty.
Right.
That's not going to happen on a team where Brianna Stewart's on the other team. Like there's this certain level of like, when you're playing the really good teams with the, I don't say even like classier players, like older veterans who are like older, 29 and 30.
Right. Yeah.
But like the leaders of the league, you're not seeing that kind of play. You're seeing it
Right.
from the younger players and from teams that aren't good, and this is their chance to sort of like step up.
It's part of her
like,
game too. She's getting in their
focus
head.
more on the basketball. Yeah,
Right,
and then they're
right.
seeing if I could take her down. And it's like all of that. Yeah, you want the competitiveness, but when it stops being about basketball and everybody's like fighting
Yes.
with each other, you're
Right.
like, come on. Like I saw one clip and someone's like, I can't wait for this Fever Sun rematch. And I was so tempted to write it. I'm like, rematch? The Sun are 2-10. This is not a rematch.
Right.
They're awful. Like you just want to see people fight.
Right.
That's not a rematch. Like, yeah.
Well, I can understand that mentality as a Met fan because we don't win anything, so we base our whole seasons on the Subway Series.
Yeah.
We beat the Yankees like last year. We swept them, but it didn't mean anything.
The Mets are good. The Mets are very good. This is going to be I actually really need the Mets to eliminate the Dodgers because the Yankees can't beat them.
Oh,
the
I
Mets
don't-
can.
Yeah, I know, but this past week, you missed some dark times here in New York between the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah. But this is a good time for it to happen. You
Well,
need
yeah.
stuff like this to happen now, and they're both doing well enough that it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm going tomorrow
as they
to the
come out of
game,
it.
so I'm
we,
hoping to bring them some mojo. What?
Who are we playing?
They're playing Atlanta.
Oh.
Did you? No, you just came back yesterday. You said.
Yeah.
Did you see that play with Chaz Chisholm?
No.
Holy moly! So they're home, right? Yeah, they were home.
Okay.
Playing, I think it's Baltimore. Actually, I think I have it here. During the bottom of the second inning, Chaz Chisholm attempting to score a run after rounding third base. He actually lost a sneaker while running towards home plate.
Oh, God.
But the left fielder, Colton Cowser, threw the ball to Maverick Handley. Handley, not Hanley.
Oh, he's got the D. Some
That's
people
right.
do misspell my name. They think it's the D.
And yeah, the D. When Meghan says he's got the D, she's talking about the name.
The name.
All right. I know last time she was here, she was talking about doing it at weddings. You remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
You posted the video that where the wording was wrong or something. It said how you like to do it at weddings. So we had to clarify what the
I
video
forgot
meant.
about that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I think it was like the next day or something is when you're on here.
Okay.
So we had to clarify that you don't do it at weddings. There was something else. You like to dance at weddings. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember it.
That stuck out in my mind. So going with that line of thinking when she talks about he's got the D, we're talking about the name. Maverick Handley is the catcher.
Okay.
The ball comes in. Handley's trying to get the ball. Chisholm comes in. He's trying to avoid the catcher, but the way he just it was almost like the catcher was going to get down and Chisholm wanted to almost like jump over him.
Okay.
But they end up colliding.
Okay.
Chisholm gets right on the side of the head. This catcher is now horizontal, but in the middle of the air and just spinning and goes down. I'm telling you, he goes once or twice.
Oh,
bam! Oh yeah, he came out of the game. I don't know if I've ever seen a collision like this. I mean, I'm telling you, and in midair, this guy is just spinning, and you got to check this out. An absolutely brutal collision. And he was taken out of the game. So yeah, you got to check that out. That was insane. So and then my another thing with sports. Do you listen to sports radio at all?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not really. It used to be more of if I was driving to a gig, if you throw it on.
Okay. Because there's a guy on the Fan. He does a lot of sports updates. He fills in sometimes, and he's also on Boomer and Geo a little bit. Peter Schwartz is his name. He does a show in here twice a week.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell him that he's got to get you on and talk sports and have some laughs since you're Meghan Hanley.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. That's,
all right.
Yeah, because he gets good guests. Last week he had Joe Theismann.
Okay.
As a guest.
Nice.
That doesn't impress you very much, does it?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Joe Theismann?
No.
Oh. Sports Tabata. I'm just assuming he was
everybody.
Big quarterback in the 70s and 80s. Okay. Lawrence Taylor, actually, you know who that is?
Lawrence Taylor, yeah.
Lawrence Taylor actually ended Theismann's career.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he sacked him and took him out. And
the leg just went.
Wow.
Yes, it's actually quite another video.
Quite the video where they slow it down and you see it go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I cringe every time I see it.
To this day. Yes, to this day.
Yeah.
Also, the last time you were here, you were about to have your college reunion.
Oh, man.
Did you go?
It was awesome.
Was it awesome?
It was great.
What was so awesome about it? Did you make out with the big hunks that you couldn't make out with back then?
It was trippy. It was like you're in the same space you were in 20 years ago.
Oh, it was actually at the college?
Oh, you stay over in the dorms. It's
really?
awesome.
Wow.
It was so great. Not
wild.
a ton of people went from our class, but it was like this really good group of people that you're just sitting there 20 years later with these people that you used to party with that some you don't see at all, some you see on social media. I don't know. I really had some real just such nostalgia, and then you're having all these drinks, and I just was like, oh my God, we've turned into the people we were gonna be. It was awesome.
That's cool.
It was really cool. It was we're all the same but all different, and we're all just in that same space again, drinking in the dorm room.
Yeah.
But we're adults now. It was really cool.
Did you? Well, I guess college reunion or not, just meeting people wherever you are.
Yeah.
They must be. Oh, you're a comedian. That's so cool. People. I'm assuming people are not jealous, but they're going to their boring office 9 to 5, and you're traveling the world as a comedian. People are impressed, right?
People definitely see it for we see the holes in our schedule. We see.
Yeah.
What money came in this month compared to that month, or what needs, we see everything that's we're not kind of things, and it is kind of funny. Sometimes people, I got a message of someone I went to school with a month ago, and she was like, I have a friend at NYU that might want to get into comedy. Do you do any mentoring? Can you talk to them? And I was like, I don't know if I would talk them out of it. Like, I don't even, I was like, I don't even, it's that thing of like, what do I have to offer? I don't even know what I have to say. But I go, if they ever want to get together and grab a coffee, sure, I'll talk about comedy. But, it's so different now getting into it than even when I did. I was like, but I don't want to close it off if they want to have a meeting.
You don't want to squash their dream.
Because,
But that's how a lot of them do it. That's how a lot of them supplement. They'll do lessons and classes and whatnot.
But we're always just thinking, what we're not doing. And I get it too. So I get in my head sometimes where you just go, you're just in this rut and you're in your head. And then sometimes I go look at your social media. And I go, look, you're lying too. If I just look at my social media and go, she's crushing it.
Right. Goes back to the mirror. You're so funny.
So what was your major in college?
Communications.
Okay.
Yeah, but I started doing comedy in college. So even that, like, people knew I did stand up in college because it was like people knew that then.
Yeah.
So.
We are almost out of time here.
Almost.
2 more things before we go.
Yeah.
One, memorable gigs, like maybe, I don't know, somebody like Seinfeld showed up,
I have actually performed with Seinfeld years ago. We were at Gotham, and I was hosting for. I was opening. I think maybe it's just a 2-person show, or for Colin Kane. It was his weekend at Gotham. Before I get there, they're like, "So we just want to let you know that Jerry Seinfeld is going to pop in, and he's going to do a spot. And we don't know when he's getting there. But." So either like we'll pass you a note that like if he's not coming, like assume he's coming, and when we give you the light, you're gonna bring him on stage. But like if he's not coming, we'll pass a note so you don't bring him on stage, kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
And he's not there.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh my god, he's
somebody,
here.
Where? Somebody random, yeah. So I was on stage, and I'm doing my set, and I did feel like I was up there for a little long. I think they were like waiting on him to get there, and I had it timed out. Then in my head, I was like, I want to get the light, and I want to make sure I'm closing on a quick killer bit,
right?
Because I want him to see it, because I knew he'd be in the room. So my final joke is like my Brooklyn mom stroller joke. Crushes. I bring him on stage, and he's saying something to me as I'm bringing him on stage, but I don't remember. Not that I remember. I just didn't know. I was like, oh, okay, all right, And then he goes up and he kills him. Everybody goes crazy, and it's cool to see and watch that. And they go crazy. And he was working on his stand up, and then at the end of the set, he does do a Q&A. He goes, anybody have any questions?
Oh,
and that's
wow.
Fun to see, because people just love to ask random Seinfeld questions.
Yeah,
and
right.
He just works with the crowd so well in that he's just facilitating that. And then, he gets off stage. I bring him off stage, bring the next step up. It was actually great to see then Colin go up, because Colin Kane, I actually haven't seen him in a while. I don't know what he's up, but he's kind of like an insult comic thing. He's totally the opposite of Jerry Seinfeld. So he actually went up, and even though everyone's there to see him, they've just seen Seinfeld, and he started ripping into, like, he gets up there and he's like, oh, what, you guys aren't impressed by me anymore? They're like, where's Jerry? And he started doing impressions of Jerry, and it just
that's
crushed,
great.
because it just killed, and then it like made it his show again, and this, so it was like people got best of both worlds. They got to see Jerry, and then Colin did like what Colin does.
That's fantastic.
So after that, I go down at Gotham, and I just went down to use the bathroom. So that's downstairs at the club. So I don't realize, like, he, I guess, was in the back talking with the Chris Mazzilli, the owner. So he's coming up the stairs. I'm walking down the stairs, and I said, oh, it's just like so great to meet you. And he like shook my hand. And he goes, hey, he goes, that Brooklyn mom, Joe. He goes, it's really funny.
Nice.
And I go, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. He goes, really good. Or whatever. And then he goes up the stairs, and I go back down. I'm like, that was nice.
Shit.
So after the show, then it was like Colin's show, and then they still do shows in the Vintage Lounge. So I was on that show. So it was like you're hosting upstairs, and you're on the show after. So after Chris comes over to me, and he goes, pretty nice compliment you got from Jerry. And I go, oh, I think he was just being nice. He goes, no. He doesn't do that.
Right. I was thinking in my head, I've heard stories. Yeah, he doesn't do that.
He goes, if he said that to you, he really meant it.
Right.
It's like,
oh.
Okay. Wow. And then we haven't run into each other since. So, I thought at some point we'd run into each other again, then I'd start opening for him. But then it was like, that was like October 2019. And then it was like pandemic. And then we actually know that we did have another show that I was on John Fish's album recording. And he did tell me, he goes, Dave told me that Jerry might be coming in. So he bumped me.
Oh, wow.
I got bumped from the album recording, which is fine.
What are you bumping me for? Brooklyn Moms, Jerry. What the fuck?
Mom. But I did not mind, at all. And
right.
it was just, again, cool to see that. And again, the crowd reaction. And that was 2021, so we were just coming out of the pandemic. So
Right.
he was going by Gotham a lot, which was just, I think, great even for comedy because people were like, oh my
Right.
God, Jerry might pop in, and we're just starting to come out to shows again. So we'll see. I'm putting it out there. Jerry! When are we going to run into each other again?
Seaford, Massapequa. You guys are
Seaford,
neighbors. Come on. All right.
No, East Hampton's too far.
Yeah, right. All right, another thing I'm going to do, we're just real quick before we go, I'm going to throw a few names out.
Oh, wow.
Mutual friends that I saw on Facebook.
Okay.
You can say nothing. You can say whatever you want. You can.
This is high pressure.
That's right. I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Brian McGinnis.
Yeah, Brian McGinnis. Yeah, I knew Brian from when we first started. Now he's down. What is it,
He's down in North Carolina now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another Massapequa guy. Chris Monty.
Yep, Chris Monty, known
Love him.
forever
Yep.
from Long Island. Yeah. We were together on New Year's actually.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
doing a show. I'm
Yep,
assuming.
doing a show on New Year's. Yeah, he would come in. He's like, this is my 5th show today. You know, I was just in Staten Island doing 2 dinner theaters, and I got this. You know, he's got his whiskey.
I was just about to ask. We had the whiskey and the Derby.
Yeah.
Greg Vaccarello.
Oh my God, I haven't seen Greg. I think I only met him once.
Oh really?
Is he in Vegas?
He's in Vegas. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But once in a while he'll make his rounds.
Okay, yeah. Years ago, I think we were at like Bananas or something. Yeah.
Joe Curry.
I don't know Joe Curry too well.
Okay.
I don't
You know who I'm talking about?
Kind of.
Okay.
Now I feel bad. Joe Curry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
His name is familiar, but I don't know when we maybe worked together a long time ago.
Okay, great comedian. He's worked a lot. He grew up with Anthony Cumia. Remember Opie and Anthony?
Yeah.
Anthony Cumia.
Okay.
He grew up with them. I don't know if that helped you. Joe Pontillo.
Of course, Joe. I knew. I mean, again, from the originally starting, and we were both Long Islanders, so we'd randomly do shows.
He's a
out
real
here.
jerk, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's a nightmare. That Valley Stream.
Carrie Caravis.
Oh, Carrie, of course.
Doesn't get much better than that, man.
Yeah.
Another one who's in North Carolina now.
No way.
Or is it South Carolina? One of those.
We
yeah,
had no idea. Was this
Yep.
very recent?
within the past year.
Wow,
Yep.
I did not know that.
Mhm.
That's pretty recent. Wow.
She still gets up here quite often, but yeah, she's living down there now. Mary Capone.
Mary Capone, yeah, she's great. I actually asked her to be on the show in the Giggle Room, but she's opening for Zarna, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, she's been doing a lot with
she's
Zarna.
so
yeah.
great.
Oh, that's what I want to ask you. Who else is on that show with you?
Oh, Charles McBee, who's fantastic. And
Okay.
Charles is like really, talk about someone who, I mean, I've known Charles forever and he's a great comic. And he, I don't know if this is about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, again, started going, what's something I can do every day, put up on social media, I enjoy doing. It'll like help me with branding, but also I'm putting a joke out every day.
Wow.
And he started talking about like 90s nostalgia stuff. And he had a couple of videos right off the bat go crazy viral.
Yeah,
And
right.
He's been doing
I think
that
I
for
saw
2
that.
years. And now he's got like over 200,000 Instagram followers. He's now touring with that. And I mean, he really agreed to be on the show because we are good friends. And I was like, you know, I know you're a headliner, but do you want to do the show? And he was like, yeah, of course, I'm free. And also because like my family and friends love him, so they were like, oh my god, could Charles be on the show? So he's so
Nice.
fantastic. Charles McBee, if you don't already follow him, go follow him. He's great. And then Meghan O'Malley, who's also a Long Island. She's from Long Island, but
Right.
we know each other, you know, from the city. So it's really like a triple headliner show.
Nice.
You know, so it's going to be 2 Megans. I mean, come on.
And she's hosting, or
She's hosting.
She's
and
hosting.
Charles, and then myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great show. I'm familiar with the two of them as well. Okay, that is this Saturday. I'm going to show the poster again. This Saturday, 7:30. Meghan Hanley in the Giggle Room. You guys are going to love it. I promise. I'm going to try and get here myself. That's a good show. So govs.com. Head on over and see Meghan this weekend. And then real quick before we go, let me go over the lineup. Let's see. Excuse me. Let me go over the lineup real quick. So we're talking about the Giggle Room, but we also got the main room here in Levittown. We got the brokerage in Belmore, and McGuire's out in Bohemia. Martin Amini is playing the club Friday and Saturday. Sunday here at the club, the Uncle Louie Variety Show is coming down. Are you familiar with those guys? They're fantastic. It's 2 guys,
Okay.
Carlo and Louie. They same thing. They got popular on YouTube doing characters, Italian type stuff. I love these guys. They're great. They're good friends of the show. They come in a lot. They're playing here Sunday. Also Sunday, One Funny Lisa Marie is at the Suffolk Theater. Governors Presents. One Funny Lisa Marie at the Suffolk Theater. In the Giggle Room Friday, you can see Terry McNeely, Mike Tanzi, Nicole LaMonaco, Joe Winchell. Those are just some of the names appearing on that show. Saturday, of course, is Meghan. Sorry, I just have a typo that threw me off. At the brokerage this weekend, John Rudnitsky is playing Friday and Saturday. The Great Long Island Laugh-Off is happening Sunday at the brokerage as well. Actually, I think it's also at McGuire's at sometime this week as well. You can also see Luis Lopez Friday and Saturday at McGuire's. And then coming up July 9th at the Clubhouse in East Hampton, Governors presents Tom Arnold. That's a new thing for Governors. They're doing a bunch of shows at the Room at the Clubhouse. It's called the Room at the Clubhouse in East Hampton. They're doing a bunch of shows there, starting with Tom Arnold July 9th. I know Adam Ferrara is going to be there. I know they got a bunch of people, and we're working on Tom Arnold coming in here to promote. We're working on that. I've had conversations with his people, and we're hoping to make that happen. So, and then today is Monday. So what do we got? Steve Square tonight at 6:30 here on Gov's Comedy Club Podcast. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Coffee with the Dog. And then I'm back here with Diane tomorrow. We're going to do some Tuesday trivia and hang out. And then that's it for Tuesday. No Chris Roach tomorrow night. No Hershey and the Keeks tomorrow night because I'm going to the Met game. So there'll be nobody here to engineer their shows. Too bad.
Unbelievable.
Too bad. I get a night off once in a while. I'm here all the freak. I live here. So, I'm going to the Mets game. And I feel I'm leaving something out. Check out the full schedule, govs.com. Make reservations to some great comedy shows. First, go see Meghan on Saturday. Absolutely. Top of the list right there.
Saturday, Giggle Room, 7:30.
There you go. And don't forget, knockemdeadcomedy.com. We got some murder mysteries coming up. Our summer's light, but in the fall, we got a bunch of audience interactive murder mystery shows all over the place. So go to knockemdeadcomedy.com. And with that, we're out of here. Let's not wait another 2 years, please.
All right.
Please.
All right. I'll be here Saturday.
That's true. She'll be here Saturday.
I might be on Saturday.
Well, I mean, in this
Pop
room,
in.
maybe Saturday night I'll come in here and I'll put you, I'll beg you to come in here as well. But no, really, always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It was. Thank you. I know, with your crazy schedule, and I didn't realize you just came home yesterday. So
yeah.
I appreciate you coming in even more because I know you must be shot.
I'm out of it.
Yeah. Very nice. All right, everybody enjoy the rest of your Monday. Don't forget Steve Square tonight at 6:30. We'll see you guys later. Meghan Hanley. Quickly, the socials and all that stuff.
At the Meghan Hanley on all social media. Meghan with an H at the Meghan Hanley, all social media.
Very nice.
And Venmo.
Right. And thank you, pal.
I'm glad to be back.
My apologies. I wanted to talk a little bit about you being back, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right,
it's all
cool.
good.
Thank you, pal.
We have more important things to discuss.
Absolutely.